What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we're talking about the latest from Holo Taco. We've got the Holo Royalty Shimmering Secrets set. Now before we get into that, if you haven't heard of Holo Taco before, they are a nail polish brand created by YouTuber Cristine of Simply Nailogical, and all of their polishes are 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. Now, this release has 4 new nail polishes and they're really interesting finishes. We've got a lot of shimmer, a lot of hollow sparkle, and we also have some interesting glitter shapes. So let me show you the swatches first, then we can get into my thoughts on them, then we can talk pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Orly Bonder base coat. So we'll start off with this shade Blush Money, and this one is a pink hollow jelly. So we've got this really beautiful, very slightly dusty medium pink base, and then within that base we've got a scattering of silver hollow glitters. So this one actually was a little bit reminiscent of their summer collection of hollow jellies last year, but the glitters in this are a little bit bigger, which I actually love because I think it just makes them look a little bit more sparkly, but it does make them slightly more sparse. So I felt like in 2 coats it wasn't quite as glittery as I wanted it to be, so I ended up doing 3 coats for full coverage. You could still see a little bit of that visible nail line, but I feel like it just gave the type of coverage that I like for a hollow jelly. So you can still see through it a little bit, but you still get a lot of that color and a lot of that glitter. Next up we have the shade Inside Job, and this one is another hollow jelly, but it's a very different kind of hollow jelly. So we've got this really beautiful, rich royal purple jelly base, and then within that we've got a ton of silver holographic glitters as well as silver hollow square glitters. And if you know me, you know I love a funky shape in my glitters, so I think that's super fun. I started off with 2 coats and it does give a nice jelly-like feel, and I did notice that especially over my warm undertone in 2 coats it made that purple look a little bit warmer toned, but once I applied a 3rd coat I feel like it cooled down that purple, and I personally love a cool toned purple, so I'm probably going to wear this one in 3 coats. It gave me nice depth of coverage and you could see all of those fun little square glitters in there. Moving on, we have Teal No Lies, and this one is my absolute favorite of the collection. It's just this really beautiful deep teal shimmer. So we've got this darker sort of base color, and then within it is just packed with this beautiful shimmery flaky that hits the light and makes it look so bright inside of the polish. So it's really beautiful, definitely giving me like a mermaid siren kind of vibe, because without the light hitting it, it looks like this deeper blue color, but then once the light hits it, you can see this really vibrant turquoisey kind of glitter in there. So stunning shade, really nice coverage, very easy to work with formula. And the final shade in this set is Spyglass, and this one is in their crushed hollow formula. So we've got a slightly larger silver hollow fleck running throughout, and it's in this really beautiful soft blue base that also has an intense blue shimmer running throughout. So I have to say, this color and formula did remind me a lot of a couple of Mooncat polishes, but it is definitely different. It's not a dupe for any of those, but this one was a little bit sheer in 2 coats on me. I did end up needing 3 coats for full coverage, and if you have longer nails, you'll probably need more coats for this one because I feel like it was just barely there in the 3 coats. So I was a little bit disappointed in the coverage, but I do think that the end result is really stunning. So here's a quick look at all of the polishes together. I think all of them look so beautiful on the nail. I just love the end result. I think the formulas are just really fun. I love the hollow jellies and the shimmers, and having that crushed hollow formula again is just so fun. So I really enjoyed that, and I also love the colors that they chose for these formulas. This is definitely the kind of color scheme that I gravitate towards. I was a little bit disappointed in the opacity of some of these, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. I do still think that the end result is gorgeous though, so yeah, let's talk a little bit more about it. So those are the polishes, and I really love these colors. I think they look so beautiful, and the color story itself is just perfectly within my preference when it comes to nail polish. I just love the color palette of like blue, purple, kind of like greenish teal colors, and pink. I just think those are the colors that I'm most often gravitating towards. So I love the colors that they chose for this, and I also appreciate having a couple lighter options, having a couple darker options, and I like the variety of finishes. One thing I always get excited about from Holo Taco is when they get a little bit more experimental with their finishes. You know, instead of doing the classics like cream finishes and linear hollows, I just love seeing them do something a little bit more in the indie style of nail polish. So I feel like they really captured that with this set. But that being said, I do wish that the polishes were a little bit more opaque. 3 out of 4 of them did require 3 coats for full coverage, and I know I talk about it on my channel a lot, but it really is brand and price dependent on whether or not I'm okay with a 3-coater. When it comes to thinner polishes or polishes that you can really build up onto your nail, where the more layers you do, the more depth you get in terms of like glitter or sparkle or something like that, that I don't mind. So the purple shade in this set I actually think is totally fine as a 3-coater. That's something that I like to kind of build up and just get multiple layers of glitter. But when it comes to shimmer polishes, especially at the price point of Holo Taco, I feel like it's just a little bit too much to have to do 3 coats. And because they are a thicker formula, it can start to feel like a lot on the nails. So I'm probably going to try to just wear these as 2-coaters and just apply thicker coats. But I do wish that they hit that 2-coater mark for my nail length. So let's talk pricing and availability. All of these polishes come in 12 milliliter bottles. They do have the wide flat brush with the rounded tip, which I absolutely love. It makes such a difference for me with application. Now keep in mind, all of the polishes in this set are limited edition and they retail for $14 USD each. So I'm gonna link them down in the description. You can check them out if you're interested, but I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts. What do you think of these polishes? What do you think of the colors? What do you think of the different finishes? What do you think of the opacity of them? Leave it all in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my Royal Astronomer Amanda M, as well as my Cosmic Admirals Paula, Ken, Rosie, and Angel. I really appreciate your support and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Delane, and Delane wants to know, do you recommend a nail polish shaker / mixer? If so, can you suggest one? Yes, I can. I actually somewhat recently posted a short on YouTube of me using a nail polish mixer. So I actually just bought a pretty inexpensive vortex mixer on Amazon. It honestly looks kind of silly, but it's super easy to use. You just plug it in and you hold your nail polish bottle on it and it kind of mixes everything up for you. I know it's a product that's used in laboratories, but if you buy one that's marketed for nail polish, it is significantly cheaper. The lab ones are usually in the hundreds of dollars. I think mine was $30 with a coupon. So I will link it down below. This is the one that I have. It's a brand called Oni Lab and it comes in different colors. I got it in pink because that was the one that had the coupon, but I do recommend getting a different color because the pink one does look kind of weird. But I do think that nail polish mixers are super helpful when it comes to nail polishes that have settled a little bit, because sometimes shaking them up with your hand just doesn't feel like enough. And especially if, like me, you have a very large collection, it can get very exhausting to be shaking up a bunch of nail polishes. So it's a lot easier to do that. Also, for people with disabilities or any sort of mobility issues, it's a lot easier to have something to shake product for you rather than having to do it yourself, especially if it's painful. So yeah, I really enjoy my little nail polish mixer. I think it's great. I know some people say you shouldn't ever shake up your nail polish. I disagree with that strongly. I think nail polish needs to be shaken up. In fact, most nail polishes come with little stainless steel mixing balls in the polish to help mix up the pigment if you shake it up. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Like I said, I'll leave it in the description and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.